Oops, I did it again.
Welcome to another video, and today we are figuring out the best way to play Umi with Ghoti, and we're building the deck to beat tier limits. That's the goal today. So stick around. I'm going to have a few variations. We're going to try out some different cards, and we're going to see if the original Space Fish, Space Mambo, is worth a slot in the deck. I love this old card, the OG cards. Alright, let's get going. We're going to start off with the Fish Sonar. Fish Sonar, going to search for the Jellyfish. Jellyfish, great card. Synergizes with basically any water deck. Alright, Jelly, going to send an Umi to the graveyard. We're going to send Pacificus. This counts as Umi. We're going to special summon the Paces. Paces, we can banish it. 2 special summon a fish from hand. Let's get that Space Mambo out here. Space Mambo, not a meme in this deck. I am serious about Space Mambo. Alright, let's activate Ready Fusion. And Ready Fusion, another card that I think is a great slot in any Ghoti deck. This is going to let us, depending on how many extra slots you devote to it, is going to give you the option of going into a level 6, a level 5, a level 4, or a level 2 tuner. So we're going to go into the tuna. This is a bird, but it's also a tuna, so that makes it a fish, and that counts. Let's Synchro Summon. Using our Space Mambo. Go into the Arion Post. Banish the Paces from the deck. Oh, sorry, banish the Paces. We already banished Paces. We're banishing Shift, so we got both fish. Excuse me, I misspoke. And now on the opponent's turn, we got to toggle on for this. We're going to activate Sea Stealth, activate our Pacificus from the graveyard, and now we got lots of action going on. Our fish are going to come back from the ocean, back to the field, and now we got lots of plays. We got 2 Synchro Summons, and we got the negate with Jelly. Opponent hitting us with Forbidden Droplet, sending 2 cards to negate 2 of our monsters they choose on resolution. They're going to send a Killback, which means they're playing tier limits. All right, opponent, we got 3 monsters. You only sent 2 cards. Which 2 are you negating? Opponent, negating Jellyfish and the Arion Post. Now Jelly, I understand, that's a negate, but Arion Post does nothing. That was a strange choice. They should have negated our fish. They probably should have sent a 3rd card too. I think this is a bit greedy on their part. Alright, opponent milling 5 cards. They milled a bunch of stuff. We milled a bunch of stuff too, but nothing super relevant for us. Opponent's Tier Limit Scream is going to search for a Suliek. They are going to activate Foolish Bearer of Goods, and this makes me so mad because Konami hit this to 1 so that Tier Limits would be hurt. But Tier Limits don't care, and they're literally still playing Rainbow Bridge. This mad lad is playing Rainbow Bridge with 1 Foolish Burial Goods to search for their field spell. You know, Konami, just ban Tears and unhit Foolish Burial. What are you doing? Alright, they're adding Crystal Beast to hand. Adding the Primeval Planet. Primeval Planet, gonna search for any Tier Limit. But we still got our Synchro Summons. Opponent, gonna summon the Rhino Heart. Send a Tear to the graveyard, and you gotta be careful with the chain order here. You gotta activate right now, because if you activate right now, we're gonna get our Azcan before our friend here summons the Kikkalos. And we want to banish that Kikkalos, because we want Kikkalos to get banned. Hopefully Konami will hear our cries. Let's Synchro Summon right now on this chain. And then on the next chain, we're going to banish Azcan on the field. Opponent, using that turtle in hand to summon the Kikkalos. And now, it's going to activate. The Primeval Planet's going to activate. And I had to make a choice here. Alright, I can save my Jellyfish with the Sea Stealth attack. I probably should have done the move to save, but let's worry about that later. Alright, in the graveyard, Arion Post activating to search, Azcan activating to banish. Always make sure to do that chain order in that order. Always activate the Arion Post first, because that way, Chain Block can't get Ash Blossomed. Let's banish. Opponent shuffling. Alright, well, that does negate. All good. The Shuffler gonna shuffle away. Can't stop the Shuffler. But did force him to use it if they had an Ash Blossom as well. Alright, Azcan banishing itself. Gonna banish that Kikkalos. Field Spell gets popped. I should have saved the Field Spell, but there's a reason I didn't save it. And the reason is, we're about to nuke the field. Get back our Azcan. Opponent, gonna summon more Tier Limits. We only have one more piece of interaction, and it's the Paces. Paces, get activating. Go to the Deep Beyond. Banish everything. All the monsters banished. Opponent set in back row. And we did that. You gotta, it doesn't show in the replay, but whenever they go to battle phase, you gotta do it in the main phase before they go to battle phase. That was why we activated then. Otherwise, we would have loved to hit this face down trap, but we can't activate our Ghotis in the battle phase. Ghoti the Deep Beyond coming back. Shift coming back. We're gonna normal summon the Lifeless Sleep Fish. Send a Shift to the graveyard. Activate a boost. Synchro summon into the Arion post. Arion post. Gonna banish the Snopios from the deck. Neat little trick here. Not everyone knows this. You banish your Snopios. Snopios gonna activate, banish a fish from the graveyard. Let's banish our Azcan opponent. Look at them. Look at them. They got their shufflers here. They're just being played like a fool. They got 2 shufflers in the graveyard. They don't know how to respond. Because we're activating cards in the banish zone. They're eating our fish in the graveyard. Opponent doesn't even know what to do. Space Mambo still hanging out. Let's get back our Snopios. Get back the Azcan. Banish the Paces, and we're set up for another turn. Opponent shuffler's wasted. We don't even need it. Let's get in for lethal damage. 4,000 attack. Still got the Snopios in hand. All our fish were going to come back. Opponent getting wrecked by the Space Mambo. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Alright, if you love seeing the best way to beat Telements, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll have more amazing deck lists in the future. Maybe we'll try out Ghoti with some other decks. Opponent playing Rhino Heart. We're just going to get impermanent that. We do not want them sending. We do not want them fusion summoning. They've used their normal summons. Sometimes Telements bricks. So we're going to hit him with that imperm right now. And opponent sat in 1 back row. Looks like we got him. Alright. Let's draw. Fish Sonar. If we activate our legendary ocean on the field, when we activate Fish Sonar, we can special summon a normal water monster to our field. So we're going to activate that Fish Sonar, get the Ocean Dragonlord to hand, special summon the Space Mambo. Now we're normal summoning Ocean Dragonlord with that legendary ocean on the field. Now this is a bit of an anti-synergy, alright? Because it reduces the levels. That means all our fish synchro summoning is all put out of whack. Or is it? Alright, Ocean Dragonlord, gonna activate. Get ourselves a Sea Stealth attack to protect. Let's attack over the Rhino Heart. Get in, and one of the key pieces to beating Telements is the Ocean Dragonlord. Almost all the Telements, all their fusion monsters are Dark Attribute, which means they're gonna get Umi locked real bad. We can activate Crossout Designate, banish the Paces, so that if our opponent pops our field spell, we have synchro plays available. And just because our levels are reduced, doesn't mean we can't do synchro plays. Opponent activate Maxi. A little bit hard because we do all our summoning on their turn. So they're, messing us up a little bit. We haven't even used our Maxi. Maxi kind of useless. Opponent summoning Ecclesia. They cannot summon any more monsters because of the Ocean Dragonlord. If they don't have a water to get with this Ecclesia, they're out of here. And we know they're playing Telements. They're not playing Moyi, my girl. They're getting in trying to attack the Paces. I Spanish the Paces. Space Mambo. That's what we got on the field. An opponent is done. Space Mambo putting in the work. Alright, let's do one more game with the Space Mambo, and let's assess our feelings. Let's go. Alright, let's go. It's opponent's turn. They're going first. They're activating Foolish Burial. Sending a Kel back to the graveyard. Activating. Alright, hit him with the Maxi. Surely Maxi will make them stop their turn. Alright, surely. Opponent either stops or they let us draw a billion cards. Opponent milling. Milling us a lot of cards. We got a lot of cards. And we got the Snopios, which means we can activate Snopios to summon. Opponent does not seem to be afraid. They are summoning all their Telements. Activating Rhino Heart, sending a Tear to fusion summon. Making the Kikalos. We're drawing. We're holding this Snopios, though. Opponent activating Kikalos. Now, this is probably one of the best opportunities to activate Snopios, alright? If you're paying attention, opponents sent a lot of fish to our graveyard. Now, the reason I didn't activate the Snopios here is because we only have Paces. Opponent doesn't seem to be stopping their summoning, so if we draw 2 of our different tunas, we draw the Paces and the Schiff, or the Paces and the Zep, we can activate our Snopios and start summoning on their turn, or at the very least get both of our tunas back. So that's why I waited, but my pro tip here for you, if you see them activate their Kikalos to send it to the graveyard, activate your Snopios, target it with the Snopios effect, and, it'll get banished. But it's too late since opponent's already activated. By the time Snopios resolves, it'll be off the field. So we're waiting. We're holding out. Opponent not phased, summoning more monsters. Sprite Elf to summon even more. Getting, this is a little toxic looking, Cyberstein. Gonna activate to summon a Naturia Exturio. Exturio says, when a spell trap is activated, quick effect, banish a card from your graveyard, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and negate the activation, destroy that card. That means opponent literally has infinity spell trap negates. infinite spell trap negates on the board live right now. Alright, well, let's get him with the Snopios, or try to. Snopios can activate. We banished. Pace is in a tuna full, because we still didn't hit a second tuna. So we go for our backup tuna, the Butte tuna, who is not a tuner. Alright, Pace has come back. And we can try and do a synchro summon here to deal with some of these monsters on the field. Now, the Exturia is untargetable because it's summoned in the zone with the Sprite Elf, which means Azcan cannot banish the Exturio. Also, it's the standby phase. We do not have priority yet. Can't activate this as a quick effect on our turn. Opponent Fairy Tail Snow flipping the Paces face down. Alright, well, what do we have in hand? Alright, we have Space Mambo, the hero. We have Jellyfish, and we have a bunch of dead spells that we cannot use. All these cards that are blue, dead. They are useless to us. Alright, we could normal summon Ocean Dragonlord, but again, without the Umi on the field, Ocean Dragonlord is not really doing anything. We can't attack over the Exturio because it has 2800 attack points. And do we have a way to get a tuna onto the field? Well, we could summon Paces. Paces as can target the Sprite Elf to banish. That is a possibility. Opponent does have interaction though. They got interaction lined up. And they have this time 3 free doer that can fusion summon with the Shirin. Alright. So we're going to give it our best shot. We're going to Jelly, hope they make a mistake. Try and Jelly summon the Paces. First, we're going to show that they do have infinite spell negates. Let's activate the Sea Stealth. Opponent banishing from the graveyard, sending a card to the graveyard. It's infinite. They can keep doing it forever. Alright. Let's summon the Jelly. Opponent immediately activates the Time Thief Redoer. Sends our Jelly back to the deck. We can shuffle to draw a card. Opponent starting to activate their tier limits, and we realize there is no line here that gets us the win. Space Mambo has failed us, which means we need to make the hard choice. The hard choice means Space Mambo needs to get cut from the deck. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, we have made some hard choices, but sometimes I think the hard choices could be the right choices. We got a very interesting hand here. Paces Snopios, Mega Fortress Whale, who is a fish. Keep that in mind for later. Let's start by summoning Paces. Activate our Sea Stealth 2. If opponent goes to battle, Mega Fortress Whale will summon itself. Also, Sea Stealth Secret Mode. Your water monsters cannot be targeted by non-water effects. That means the tier limit effects that target can't target the Paces right now. Let's activate. Get the Snopios. Opponent activate Max C. That is not a problem at all. We don't care about Max C. Sneak on in the Snopios. Opponent. It's your turn now. Let's activate our Paces, get it back on the field. Opponent activate another Max C. A little bit late to the party. They could have got a draw from that Paces. Opponent. Playing tier limits, of course. Sending a Nagito to the graveyard to mill a billion cards. Alright. We're not afraid. We are not afraid of tier limits. We are ready. Check our graveyard here. Nothing important milled yet. Let's respond with the Paces. Opponent's fusion summoning. They're activating. They're going to fusion summon. Opponent responding with the Havness. Let's fusion summon, get that Azcan. Just like I said, you want to make this before the tier limits summon their fusion so that you get that new chain. Opponent making the Kaleido Heart, and they cannot target. They legally cannot. They are not allowed. It is illegal to target the Azcan because they are a dark monster, and this Umi right now, Sea Stealth 2, says your water monsters cannot be targeted by non-water effects. Get out of here. Targeting the Umi though. That's fine. Azcan banish. I think this tier limits player actually knew that we were going to banish. Oh, look at all these chains. It's silly. Alright. Banish the Kaleido Heart. Opponent shuffling. Hey, they must have played against Ghoti before. This is smart. They knew to shuffle our fish away before the Azcan got banished. Luckily, scroll down here. Opponent missed one. We got the Butte Tuna full. The secret fish. The secret tuna. Opponent shuffling. Banish the Azcan. Let's check their graveyard here. They still have a shuffler. They could have shuffled their tuna away. Making mistakes, opponent. Opponent, so busy fusion summoning. They didn't see our sneaky tuna. Summoning the Winda. Very early, opponent, to summon the Winda. You might be hurting yourself a little bit more than you're hurting us. Shuffling our field spell away. Azcan comes back. And he's a big chunky boy. They can't attack through it. Opponent summoning them early. Sending to the graveyard. Link summoning into the Sprite Elf. And opponent may not realize it, but they actually locked themselves. El Shadow Winda, very fair card. Each player can only special summon monsters once per turn. So actually locked themselves with the Winda. Sprite Elf cannot activate. Opponent setting. Can't attack. Pass into us. Well, opponent, if you're going to give yourselves a Shadow Window, we might be able to take advantage of that. Opponent activating Gravekeeper's Trap. Let's normal summon the Jelly. Always activate your Sea Cells first, so you get Jelly Negate live as soon as it's summoned. Opponent activating Sprite Elf. We will instantly negate that. Negate. We do not want you summoning monsters on our turn. Thank you very much. Boost the attack of the Jelly. Special summon the Mega Fortress Whale. Activate the Whale's effect because we're going to leave this Shadow Window on the field. Opponent, can you play under Shadow Window? We can. Can you? Let's go to battle. Pop that Sprite Elf. Pop that Mudora. Attack directly with the Azcan. Opponent, what are you going to do? We got no fish left in the graveyard. Opponent. Mudora shuffling. This is bait. They're trying to bait us. We are not negating with the Jellyfish. No way. Shuffle away, opponent. Opponent activating Gravekeeper's Trap. We can't negate that anyway. Again, a Kelbeck to hand. Summoning the Laundry Dragon Maid. We are not negating. Opponent, we're not negating anything that doesn't mess with this board. Opponent, getting rid of the window. They realize they locked themselves. IP Masquerena on the field. Opponent, do you have another play? We still got the Jelly negate. Opponent activating. We are not responding with the Jelly, and opponent giving up. They knew the Jelly negate was live. I don't know what they were hiding in hand, but Jelly negate stopped it. Let's go on to the next game. All right, the one final tech against tier limits, and I will tell you this. You probably know this already, but it's the evenly matched. Evenly matched. I ended up putting up to 3 in this deck, and you're gonna see why. Opponent going first, playing tier limits, of course, and I promise this is the last tier limits game. You stick out for this. I'll show you some amazing games with Umi Ghoti that do not involve tier limits. That's my Sim King promise. Alright. Opponent. Doing their perfect tier limit play. They got everything they could ever dream of. Summoning the Kikalos. They got their field spell. They got the Scream to mill even more cards. Fusion summoning, whatever they want. Sending literally infinity cards to the graveyard. Not even sending our cards to the graveyard. Well, just kidding. They're going to send our cards to the graveyard too. Got the sneaky Snopios in here. They're summoning their Rokolos. Sending more cards to the graveyard. Send some back row. Activate Sprite Elf. They don't have infinite spell negates this time, luckily. And take a look at our graveyard here, because I think something happened that was important. Ice Barrier got milled. Now, opponent didn't seem to notice, not that they can respond to this anyway, but we can activate this Ice Barrier on their turn to add a card to our hand, and we know exactly what we're adding. Opponent, finally done trying to pass. We're going to add the Gameciel to the hand. Gameciel, the beautiful turtle. And now we can turn this Kit Kalos, or this Tier Limits Rukolos, in this beautiful board into an even more perfect board. Love the second evenly. If they have a crime, we can do it twice. Opponent, I don't know why. They're summoning the Herald. I guess, oh, they're trying to trigger their own mills to try and fusion summon. They're not done fusion summoning. All right. Opponent had their turn. They're going to make our turn. They see us going to battle. They're like, I'm switching. Dracosepelia now. All right. Let's activate evenly matched. Opponent, choose one card to keep. The rest, go to the graveyard. Sorry, the face down banish zone. All of it gone. Love to see it. All right, opponent has nothing else. They're leaving this Dracosepelia. You know what? We got an improvement. Plan of improvement. Become turtle. All right, now let's do our real play. Fish sonar. Get the Ocean Dragon Lord. Activate. Send the Umi to the graveyard. Opponent. Part 3, they got the Havness in hand. Tier limit's driving me mad. All right, they're fusion summoning. Getting that Rokolos. I guess they didn't have, where is he? They didn't have the Rhino Heart. We banished him. He's gone. They can't use it. Oh no, they did have one. I don't know what they're doing. They could have made the other one and popped our guy. I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. All right, let's add that Legendary Ocean to hand. Activate. Umi Lock is live. Opponent actually doesn't have to sack anything. They got water monsters only. Alright, but that's fine. Opponent shuffling. Their own monsters back. They want more plays. We're going to negate with a Jelly. Let's get our final piece. We got our Umi package live. We want to have our fish package live. Let's get the Ghoti. Send our whale to the graveyard. Add the Snopios to hand. Pass to the opponent. Alright, you got Waterlock. We got the Snopios. We got another evenly matched if everything goes badly. Opponent, what can you do? Opponent going to battle. Alright. Battle, they'll attack over the jellyfish. We'll lose our jelly negate. So we're going to do this right now. Is this the correct play? Hard to say. They would have cleared our Ocean Dragonlord and our jelly. Go to main phase 2. Maybe we should have waited, but maybe we need these boys on the field. Let's activate that Snopios. Target the Rooklos. That's a mistake. Should have targeted my Snopios, but it's okay. Let's immediately fusion summon the Deep Beyond. We're going to banish this entire field. Get it out of here. Opponent, here's your chance to get lethal on us. We're going to evenly match you again. Opponent make a kick close. Add to hand. Summoning. Sending. Can they do it? They can do a lot of stuff. But it's random mill based, so you never know. You never know what they're going to do. Opponent, can you lethalize us? Our Go to the Deep Beyond is going to come back. Our Paces is going to come back. We have plays on the next turn. Opponent saying Gravekeeper's Trap. Add monsters to hand. Add more monsters to hand. Shuffle in. Opponent aggressively shuffling their own deck back. Set in 5. And you notice they're shuffling 5 because they have the Gravekeeper's, they got the Exchange of Spirit here. With Exchange of Spirit in the graveyard, these turn from Shuffle 4 into Shuffle 5. Exchange of the Spirit, so they're just crazily shuffling their own deck back. And opponent skipping the battle phase, going straight to end phase. We cannot evenly match. I don't know if this was a big brain play or if they just made a mistake. Gotta be a big brain play though. That was a dodge to the evenly, so very skillful on the opponent. Alright, it's our turn again. Our Ghotis are coming back, which means the evenly match won't be live. Opponent activating Gravekeeper's Trap, shuffling their own graveyard back again. Alright, Pace is coming back. Let's normal summon the Lifeless. Opponent adding more cards to hand. Milling us more. Alright. We cannot activate cards in the graveyard with Gravekeeper's Trap active. That means our Shift, not activatable. Opponent sending cards back to their deck. Alright. Summoning a Rooklos. Alright, Rooklos can negate effects that summon, but not monsters that summon. Let's get that Arion Post. Arion Post cannot banish a fish. If you notice, we only have 2 cards left in the deck. We can't banish a fish because there's no fish left to banish. Let's go to battle. Clear out this Rooklos. Clear out this Rhino Heart. We'll take a look. Opponent has 7 cards left. They just wait. We might get milled out. Sea Stealth attack activating. Now, please explain this to me. I think it's because this activates a card from the graveyard. I expected this to just pull this out of the graveyard, the Umi, but apparently it didn't work. Gravekeeper's Trap, I guess, negates that. No one knows how Yu-Gi-Oh's rules work. Opponent, activating Droplet. Sending to reduce the attack of both of our Ghotis. Going to main phase 1, activating Shiren. Milling more cards. Opponent, you only have 3 cards left, 2 cards left now. Drawing another card. Opponent, you got 1 card left in your deck. And if you look at their banish pile here, every legally allowed shuffler is gone. They have no way to shuffle their cards back, which means opponent may have just made a tragic mistake. They're not even going to battle attacking our monsters. Maybe their timer's running out. Maybe they're making desperate choices. Naming Reijikairu Shin. Alright, opponent is trying to top deck guess to discard the cards so we fail to draw. Opponent, this is a very interesting strategy. Let's go to battle. Hit their monsters. Opponent, you have 1 final turn. You have 1 final turn. What are you going to do with it? Set that call by the grave. Opponent, set in a monster. Activate and trying to guess. Shift Fairy of the Ghoti. Wrong guess. It was the boss Ocean Dragonlord. Let's get in. Hit him with the Ghotis. Opponent evenly matched their last play. Pass in. And they are decked out. Tearlament's gone. Umi Fish, clearly superior. Milling out the Tearlaments. Alright. Now we know how to beat Tearlaments. Use the evenly matched. You don't use the Space Fish. Now use the Space Fish. The Space Mambo. Even though he's beautiful. Alright, let's go on to the next game because I got some very special games for you. Alright. Now that you know how to beat Tearlaments, you grind them out. Use your evenly matched. Let's do some non-Tearlament games. Alright, Fish Sonar. Going to get us our Ocean Dragonlord. We're going to set up the Umi Lock. Activate the Jellyfish. Summon the Ocean Dragon Lord. Send that Pacifist to the graveyard. But opponent, sneaky, hit us with the Imperm. Alright, well, looks like our play is going to be set to pass. Jellyfish not doing anything. Oh, opponent, what do you got? Opponent, playing Sword Soul. They're getting the My Girl Mo Yi. Look at this. Look at this fan of the Sword Souls right here. Look at this. They got the Sword Soul field. They even got Sword Soul looking sleeves. Opponent, very clever, making the Dragite. They're worried about our back row. Smart play. Drawn with the My Girl. Adding the Strategist to hand. Activating. Summoning. Making a level 10. Che-Ying. Alright. Prismatic Che-Ying. Very nice opponent. Hurting us for 1200. Activating the Sacred Summit to summon a worm from the graveyard. Getting that Monk of the Tenyi. Go into battle. Attacking. Alright. Ice Barrier. Going to reduce their attack to 0 and negate the effect of the Che-Ying. Opponent forced to negate. But we got a second one. Activate the second one. Another one. There we go. Get negated. Get reduced to 0. That Jellyfish attack was lethal on themselves. And they've used their negate with the Risen Dragite. So hitting our Jellyfish, that is all good. Hitting us for 1,000. We are living. Opponent setting back row. Alright. Let's activate this Ice Barrier right now. We got to do it before the negate's live. And we're going to get our beautiful boy, the turtle. Always an upgrade to the opponent's deck. Let's upgrade their deck. Draw. Draw on the Paces. Very nice. We can use that for later. Give him a beautiful turtle. Go to battle. Evenly matched. They choose to keep the turtle. See, it was the perfect card for them. They're appreciating the value of that turtle. Alright, let's use our Ice Barrier. Get the Jellyfish back from the graveyard. Always be aware. You can use Ice Barrier to send a monster to your graveyard with a level 5 or higher, but then you don't have to add that monster. You can add any monster in your graveyard that's a water. So we're adding that Electric Jellyfish back. Let's activate. Send an Umi. Summon the Ocean Dragon Lord. Activate our Sea Stealth attack. Set it on the field. And we're going to get the Pacifist from the graveyard. Pacifist is an Umi, but it does not reduce the levels. And it's going to summon us an amazing token. Opponent activating Pot to draw 2. I do not think so. Pot of Greed is negated. You will not draw 2. You will not pass go. Opponent, what do you got next? Well, we get a token. Thank you very much, opponent. Opponent has another Pot of Greed. Triple Tactics. We activated a monster effect during their main phase. They're choosing the mode. Draw 2. Pot of Greed. They cannot summon. Or they cannot summon. Well, they can only summon one non-water monster on the field. Opponent again. The Taya. Activating the Taya to get a water monster. The token. But opponent, you are legally not allowed to summon non-water monsters as long as this Taya is on the field. And you already used, we know because they're in the graveyard, you already used your Dragite and your Supreme Sovereign. What are you going to do? Opponent activating to add to hand the Strategist, but you cannot summon that. Opponent go into battle. They realize they can't do it. Let's banish our Jellyfish. We do not want Jellyfish to die. Opponent, are you a reader? Opponent activating Call by the Grave. I do not know why. That was a strange choice at this moment. Opponent is flailing. Are you a reader? Do you know how Sea Stealth attack works? Opponent attacking into the Sea Stealth attack. Sending the turtle to the graveyard. I do not think that they wanted to do that. Let's draw. Normal summon. The Paces go into using the token. A level 10 synchro. Make that Che-Ying. And now every time we activate Sea Stealth attack, it triggers the Che-Ying. Banish a card from field and graveyard. Activate our Ocean Dragon Lord. Get the Sea Stealth 2. We cannot get lethal because of Sea Stealth attack poppage. Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign. Attacking for a lot of damage, opponent. You got one card. Can you deal with this board? Opponent passing. They have nothing. That's it. Pure Umi. Pure Ghoti. Getting a victory against Sword Soul. Alright. Let's do one more bonus game. And then we'll go to the deck list. Alright, if none of my previous gameplay experiences have taught you the value of evenly matched, let this one be the one that teaches you. Opponent, set 3 back row, activate Labyrinth. This would be a devastating board against Umi. Doesn't deal well with traps, but because we're going second. We got the evenly. Let's make this match even. Activate evenly matched. Opponent, you get to choose one card to keep. The rest get banished face down. Opponent, activating D barrier. Very smart play if you're playing against tier elements. Name Infusion Monster to stop us doing tier plays. Well, we're not playing tier elements. Does shut off our fusion, ready fusion though, which is kind of funny. Opponent, activating Welcome Labyrinth. Are you sure you want to do that right now, opponent? Maybe they're going to summon an Ariana. Activate it, get a trap after we pop their whole field. Opponent getting Lovely Lady, and opponent popping with the evenly matched with their Welcome Labyrinth and the Labyrinth ability. Opponent, MST does not negate, and neither does popping the evenly matched with your Labyrinth. That is, in fact, a very bad play. Now we control no cards on the field, which means they have to banish every card they control instead of just one, leaving one. Now their field's clear. Let's hit them with the Umi Lock. And that's a game. See, if the other games didn't teach you to play evenly, that one definitely should. Let's go on to the deck list. Alright, here is, I played this deck a lot. Here's my final deck list right now. And I know what you're thinking, Space Mambo, where's Space Mambo? He's here in our hearts. Alright, Space Mambo is here in our hearts. Alright, you can put him, if you want to play Space Mambo in the deck, you can. Just give him a little flex slot. We'll put him at the 41 card special. Alright, let's take a look at the deck list here. Alright, we got 2 Paces, 2 Shift, we got 1 Zep, we got triple Lifeless, we got triple Electric Jellyfish, we got Ice Jade Tremora, we got triple Ocean Dragonlord, we got the Snopios, we got the Mega Fortress Whale, we got Kaiju, we got Terraforming, Foolish Burial Goods, Ready Fusion at 2, Triple Fish Sonar, Legendary Ocean, Pacifist, Mega Lancia, and Sea Stealth. Because we're running Terraforming, sometimes you want one of these ones and you don't know which one. Sometimes you want the token, sometimes you want the level boost from the Mega Lancia, sometimes you want the level reduction to normal summon your Ocean Dragonlord, and that's why we're playing the triple Umi threat. We got 1, 2, 3 different Umis, and I guess 4 if you count the Sea Stealth 2, which we are playing at 2. 2 Call by the Graves, 2 Ice Barriers, triple evenly matched, and you'll see I took out every other hand trap. Every other hand trap is gone. We are just playing evenly matched to even the board. And, you know, we got the Kaijus to go second, but I think Umi doesn't care about Max C. Ash Blossom, we got the call buys for. So, you know, I think this is the best, after playing this deck a lot, I think this is the best layout for the hand traps. Alright, and we got triple Sea Stealth in the extra deck. Avalane, Rare Fish, Sea Monster Theseus, which you do not see me use, but you could potentially use to make a level 10 Synchro using Ocean Dragonlord and the Sea Monster with your Ready Fusions. So, just an option to keep in mind. Roaring Ocean Snake to make an 8. We got 2 Arion Posts. We got White Aura Whale. We got the Excel Synchro. We got 2 Azcans, the Baranda Fleur, Sorto Supreme Sovereign, Go to the Deep Beyond, Stealth Kraken, and the Kraken Spawn. Alright, if you want to play this deck on more of a budget, because, you know, you can definitely play this on a budget, you could cut the number of Ocean Dragonlords. You could also cut the Excel Synchro, because I did not make it in any of the games that I played. I played a lot of games, didn't make the Excel Synchro. I wanted to have it for emergency scenarios, but definitely kind of a last thing that you should put in the deck if you're short on URs. Ready Fusion, really good. If you don't have Ready Fusion and you want kind of a similar effect that's not as good, you can use Instant Contact in place of the Ready Fusion. It has a lot of similar properties and it lets you get a variety of bodies on the field. It's definitely not as good because it doesn't give you the option to get a tuner, but I did show you in the extra deck here if you want to make more budget option what you can use instead. Neospatial Marine Dolphin is the level 4. You can get a 5 Elemental Hero Steam Healer. That's the level 5. It's also water. You can get a 6. It can't go into waters for the higher levels, so you can get a 6 Evil Hero Infernal Sniper, and you can get into 7, which is a water, with that Elemental Hero Aquaneos. Again, this is a budget option, something to keep in mind if you want to play the deck but don't have the budget for Ready Fusion. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you liked the deck list, and let me know in the comments if you're having fun with Umi Ghoti. Make sure to send me your deck list. If you have a neat gameplay video, send that to me as well. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.